Welcome back. Amid the great resignation and a tight labor market, workers' negotiating power has never been stronger. To ask for a raise, here with tips on how to go about it is Kimberly Schneiderman, Randstad RiseSmart career coach. Kimberly, thanks so much for being here. You say the key is to be prepared when you go into that meeting. So what are some of the things that we should be doing to make sure we are prepared?
Definitely. There are a few steps. And the first one is to make sure that you're actually interested in negotiating a salary, that you like this job. It's somewhere that you want to stay. It's a company that you enjoy working for. And it doesn't mean that you're not willing to leave, but it means that you'd rather stay. So you're going in with this positive win-win attitude. Next up is making sure that you have your accomplishments in place. And those accomplishments might be related to the operational wins that you've captured over the last few years, any sales or revenue wins that you can lay claim to, or at least be a part of, have been part of impacting them. Cost reductions, time cost reductions are also a big value to companies. So having your accomplishments listed for those as well. And then anytime that you worked directly with a customer and helped win some sort of agreement or a loyalty agreement, or just made them happy. Those are just an example of a few of the accomplishments that you want to get together.
You know, Kimberly, in this environment where we're all paying more for just about everything, is it a good idea to bring up inflation during that negotiation? Because I would imagine the counter to that would be your boss could turn around and say, yes, prices are higher for you. They're higher for us as well. We're paying more for everything, too.
Right. And so I would gravitate toward looking at the market value of the position that you're in. That's really what's going to be the driver, not inflation generally, but rather the market value. What is this position with somebody with your experience and your background and your skill set and your relationship with the organization worth in the market? And that's going to be a bigger driver than inflation. So you definitely want to do your research on that.
And then, Kimberly, you know, there are just some industries where talent is a dime a dozen, and it's quite easy to find someone to replace you if you don't want to work at that job. Even though we hear so much about the great resignation and a tight labor market, how do you go into a meeting where you know your boss can turn around and say, well, we have other people who will do this for less? How do you position yourself then?
Well, that is a risk. And you definitely want to look at the relationships that you have internally and try to attach some value to those relationships and that legacy knowledge that you have of the company and of its work, the products, the services, the customers. And at the same time, you're also thinking about what you can do next for the organization. Do you have some ideas that you can bring to the table about how you can be of further value to the organization, what contributions you can bring, what innovations or other ideas that you can bring to the table?
What about when it comes to an actual dollar amount? I think that's when it starts to get a little bit tricky for folks. I mean, you know, we hear that during a job interview, you shouldn't necessarily tell them what it is you're thinking about in terms of salary range. So once you have the job and now you're negotiating a better salary, should you go in there and say, you know, this is what I'd like to be earning? Or do you do yourself a disservice by giving them an exact number?
You know, our advice is that you do have a number in mind, and that will help cut to the chase of exactly what you're looking for. And the best way to go about that is to do that market research so you know that what you're asking for and give them a value. You can say, today I'm asking the company to raise my salary by X dollars or X percent, or I'm asking for an XYZ type of benefit to my employment here. You might not be a salary increase that you're looking for, but maybe somebody's looking to negotiate more work from home days or hours or some other benefit. Asking for specifically what you want really helps put things on the table and makes it very clear.
And then what if you don't get what you want? What are other things that you can, you know, bargain over? I presume, you know, sort of work from home. How much do you do it? Or if there are other benefits or things that you can ask for in lieu of just a straight salary increase?
Sure, there are definitely other benefits. Sometimes there's some wiggle room in terms of the amount of personal time off that you can take, or perhaps there's equipment budgets that you can negotiate if you're working from home and you want to buy some things. Maybe there's an education budget that you can negotiate so that you can pursue learning and advancement of your own career skills. It's just a few of the benefits that you can negotiate, everything from personal time off to a car allowance or a commuter allowance has been talked about in years past as well.
All right, we will leave it there. Keep those conversations short and sweet, I think might be one word of advice as well. Kimberly Schneiderman, Randstad RiseSmart career coach, thank you so much for being here.